This is my 1996 Toyota Celica that has been abandoned by my friend. So he bought this car originally as a paddock beater. It was supposed to be used up at his mum's place up in the middle of Whoop Whoop, and was supposed to just be a car that he was going to slowly fix up and bring back to life. Because, let's be realistic, these are some of the best looking cars from the 90s. The Celica was one of the best looking cars. No one can say anything about it. Currently, it's gone in a paint job. Everything's been repaired on it. The only couple of things that are needed with this car still are bumper, mirrors, and the wing. And other than that, it will need a windshield and some tires. But that's for later on. That's for the next episode in this series. Unfortunately, I didn't record an intro for this car back when I started recording it. I mainly recorded everything so that I would have an idea of what I had done to the car for the next owner. So this car currently back when I got it, didn't run. We ended up swapping the engine from a 5S FE from this car, from the Celica, So when I got this car originally, the engine was basically dead. What had happened was the engine wouldn't run, or it would run spontaneously, or there were issues with the engine. A couple of mechanics deducted that there was something wrong with the engine and it needed to be swapped out. That was not the case. The ECU on these are prone to failing after 20, 30 odd years, especially with the summers in Australia and the very cold winters here in Victoria. And so this car's capacitors had blown. And there were multiple capacitors which I ended up replacing. This was all done off camera before anything. The idea was that I was going to sort out the mechanical and he was going to sort out all of the cosmetic issues. I ended up figuring, after the engine swap, the car still wouldn't run. I couldn't figure out what was going on with the car, why it just didn't run. We found that one of the grounds had been connected. Sorry, I found one of the grounds had been connected originally, and I think was barely touching the car in the back where the intake manifold is, and that's what was causing the problem. And on top of that, the ECU was just blown. A bunch of capacitors gone. The capacitors had blown so much, or leaked so much acid, that the actual PCB traces were rotten away. So I'd actually had to connect the capacitor on the back of the ECU, which means that the ECU is currently kind of half exposed in the back of the car. I'll put like some stuff around to clear it off. But yeah, so that's where this car is, unfortunately. This is after the paint job and everything has been done. But without further ado, let's jump into the passenger seat well, and let's start fixing this car up and bring it back to its former glory. Alright, so the first task is done. I wanted to record this, but I kind of wanted to get this done and out of the way. So I needed to put all these wires back, because as you can see, if anyone's meddled with custom ECUs, you'll know what this is. This is a dual VO conditioner for a Speedwino and the Mega Sweat. Initially, this ECU didn't run, and as you can see, where is it? Right there. We have something that's missing, and it's now been placed on the bottom where the things still were. So that capacitor exploded, and the grounds as well were not fully tied into the engine for some reason originally. That was before the engine swap, by the way. So I ended up fixing up this ECU, getting it all nice and running, and now the car runs and drives. So that's, well, I mean runs. I haven't driven it yet because the wheel bearings are really bad on the front, but that's a separate thing. So ECU works. Car runs, everything's all good, and I had spliced all the wires. I'd left it on purpose in case I want to go back to the OEM. Whenever you're doing custom ECUs, never ever just go chopping off right the edges. Always keep a little bit of distance, just in case you need to go back to that. Because it happened to both the Mazda and this car, I need to go back to the stock ECU to confirm things and then go back to the Speedwino. With this car, I want to keep it this because it's going to be a daily driver. It's not going to be modified, it's going to be fully stock. So I'm going to keep the original ECU just for fucking simplicity's sakes. So I'm going to chuck these on the tripod now in a second, and I'm going to go ahead and put all this back into there. So let's get on with that.
Downtown Celica, sliding on that low rider. Think I'm in turbo, real, I'm feeling breezy. Go and get me higher. Ride that Celica, drifting like a midnight driver. You got my motor spinning, feeling dreamy. Go and take me higher, 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 higher.
Alright, so that's all back together. ECU's tucked away. There it is. Nah, very nice. I think there's a piece missing here of trim. I have to put that back, but that's a separate thing. Anyway, another important part that we need to fix. This is the old loom. I need to find the sensor wire that goes into the oil pressure switch. So this is the plug that I need to replace. As you can see, it's broken, so we need to replace just this end with the correct plug so that the oil pressure switch can work. I'm going to put an oil pressure gauge in here anyway, because the old original engine had oil problems. So every time we're under 1,500 RPM, the oil light will come on, and that's obviously not a good sight. We want to fix that, so I'm gonna fix that so we have an oil pressure light. And if we have the same issue with this engine, that means very simply that it was just an ECU problem and we have to ignore it. So for that switch, I'm not sure this loom actually has it. Might be this one, might be that one, might be this one, because they're all singles. Alright, I'm going to give these all a might be this one actually, because it's a single wire. Alright, I'm going to give this one a chop, and we'll see. Didn't. Nah, because see how that's covered? So that's why I thought it was the correct one. That one's blue and black, right? Alright, cool. We'll splice that. Alright, let's hope this fits. Like a glove. Perfect. Cool. So I'm now going to strip a bit of this insulation stuff off, splice that one to that one, and we'll have an oil pressure switch that works again. Strip the end off. California. And boom, there we go, all done. You might be wondering why I didn't run a crimp, which, you know, is better, the crimper, than this. I did this because it's waterproof. The crimp isn't. I don't have any waterproof crimps. So, alright, so now I need to remove the seats. And I'm pretty sure to remove the seats, it's just a matter of grabbing them and, yeah, pulling up. Yeah. And, ooh, what the fuck? Hello? Back. It smells like nasty fuel. I don't know what it smells like. Better clean this up. I gotta take the rear seats out. Shit. I have a dilemma. For all this stuff, I need access back there. So I'm gonna start by removing this. Anyway, so I need to go back here. And apparently there's some bolts. That bolt there, and this should come out. So those are what, 12s? Let me grab some 12s. There's one, and there's two. Hello? Okay, so there's 1 and 2. And that's the seat. Thank you. Oh, there you go. So this just lifts. It goes over that. Boom. And there comes the seat. Very nice. That's it, done. So now the fuel pump's in here. We have to undo those 4 and open it up and have a look. But there's also this nasty shit that I gotta clean up. Because it smells. This smells like what the car smells like. As you can see, there's some mold down there forming. See down there. So I gotta give all of that a good clean. And also over here, give that like a quick vacuum and a quick clean. It should be all good. And there's 4. There we go. Wow. Spiders and dead beetles. Yay.
You'll see them cleaning around the top of the fuel tank because I don't want any extra dirt to get into the fuel tank. You'll see it's slightly dirty, and that's why adding a sock and fuel filter later. But I had a massive issue with the feed line. I could not get it off, and so I had to basically mangle the feed line with some lock pliers. And after those lock pliers got undone, I was able to continue with the job, which you'll see in a second.
We got the thing out finally, and now this is just hands. Let's go get this out, take all these screws out.
After having fiddled with the fuel pump hose, which is the hose that connects to the hard line on the outside of the pump to the actual fuel pump itself, I was able to get a new sock from the kit that I bought, which was the Bosch kit, put that sock onto the new fuel pump, put on new hose, new clamps in the fuel pump, and finally get the hangout ready to be put back inside the system. Or the fuel tank, sorry.
All this beautiful Japanese glory with German parts in again, without ruining it. Alright, so seats are back in, took me like a couple minutes. So the next thing I want to tackle is the battery and what's underneath the battery. So if we take this unit out, like that, right here, and we'll remove this. Number one, you'll see that we don't have anything to tie the battery down, which is unfortunate. Ignore all that. That's because I had a bunch of rust I had to clean out. Number two is I have to get this back on because I want to fill up coolant, which includes finding that missing sensor. Also, this works. I love how this works. It's so good. I've got to wrap that up. We need to basically put a bolt right there. Right there, basically, or in there, some shit around. And we found the sensor, we can start filling it up. This is the cheapest hose I could find. It was like $20 shipped. I just cut it up and it kind of works. It's a little bit of a kinkier, but once the coolant's in there, it should be right. Once it pressurizes, it'll be whatever. I also want to buy a new radiator for this car as well while we're at it, just to have a new radiator. I have to scan this and create a plug so that I can cover the antenna hole because we're not going to use the antenna. Also got to find a piece for that as well, so I might scan it and print something, or scan that and create basically like a that, just mirror it. There is the issue of this being not fully in for some reason, to take this whole molding off and figure out what's going on with that, and then also figure out what's going on with the motors up here. So that means I have to take all of this out as well, which is going to be very fun. Otherwise, everything's good. Exhaust works, even though it's that. But hey, no leaks, which is, you know, what I'm happy about. And also when you install a resonator and a cat converter, at least a high flow cat, something so that, you know, the roadworthy guys don't get pissed at me. Getting this sorted because it has no like O-ring basically, or grommet to hold that in, and the clip here is broken as well, so I've got to print another clip of that. Other than that, the car is looking good. Yeah, hopefully she passes roadworthy on the first chance we get. The next thing I want to do is tackle the wheel bearings. I did buy the wheel bearings, though they are for a non-ABS Celica. Now, from what I've seen online, the GTS4 and the ST185, they all have wheel bearings that look identical from what I've seen. So I'm just hoping that they're the same wheel bearing, goes in, no worries. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that changes between the ABS and non-ABS is the wheel sensor there and the gears. I mean, that's on the outside. There's no real that you can make a design that's both ABS and non-ABS. So I'm not worried about that. But there definitely is a lot of play whenever you wiggle it left to right, up and down. There's a heaps of play. I'm going to dismantle everything. I'm going to have a good look here, the wheel bearing and everything, and we'll make an assessment from there. Because if I don't need to do them, I'm not going to do them because it's a lot of work and it needs tools I don't have, which means I need to go to the mechanic and get this done. If wheel bearings are not done, if wheel bearings are not done, it's dangerous. Right, I mean, I had a bad wheel bearing and it's dangerous to cast to do that. It's not fun. But good news is, from when I redid the engine, because you can see it's all nice and clean, new everything, new seals as well. Everything's new. Timing belt, this belt, every belt except for the you know, these belts here. I just recycled these because they seem fine. They didn't have any tears in them. There's not a single drip of oil. I'll take the brakes off, which is just this. Also, another thing as well, this wasn't even tight. So whoever worked on this car previously clearly didn't do a very good job. Let's put it that way. Bolt 1, bolt 2, and so caliper should just. Jesus, a lot of crud. Alright, let me hang this up before I drop everything. See, now that's a good car design. Look at that, just sitting on top of there on there. Beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, now these brakes have just been done. I'm not gonna redo the front brakes. There's no need. I'm gonna clean everything up, but I might just do the rear ones because the rear ones are flat. Front ones, there is absolutely no need to do them at all. Just a simple re-grease because they are rusty, and they'll be fine. They don't have the wear mark that lets you know, hey, you're low on brakes, which, you know, I'm not a fan of. I don't like that. I want to know when the brakes are dead. But look, I mean, you just look at it every couple of months, you'll be fine. There's nothing, you'll know. Cool. Okay, so next is probably these two bolts. This needs to come out. I need to remove these two bolts here, and we'll get this off. I'll come back once it's all done because there's a lot of work. Yeah, sick. So that just happened. So much for, yeah, no, I just did them. I use zip ties as well. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Whatever. Oh, man, it is what it is. I'll just redo it. This is relatively easy to get to, and also allows me to just pull that out without problems. Fun. Okay, so that's all out. This is out. That can go there. I'm gonna have to redo that, but that's fine. Having an impact is the best thing you could do, and also having the impact rated is a godsend. Trust me. Just spend the extra money and get the long ones of these. They make your life that much easier. They're made for impacting. Cool. All right, so brake disc off. Put that there. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure your wheel bearing is not supposed to be doing that, and that sounds, yeah. You can literally hear like shaking itself to bits, so wonderful. I wish that Toyota had done what they did on the back, which is you can buy the whole wheel hub assembly. It's like 4 bolts, and the whole wheel bearing assembly comes out, but you know. We're not that lucky in the 1996 era. Also look at the spider bastard. Alright, so I gave up on trying to remove this. This is just not going to go anywhere. I don't have the tool. I actually have the tool at home because I work with my grandparents, because that's where we have space to put one of these vehicles. I have a tool that goes in there with 2 prongs and just separates it. This has got damage there, so this is shot anyway. That wouldn't pass roadworthy, so I'm going to replace that. I'm going to replace every single, replace that, these tire ends as well. I'm going to replace everything I can. So from what I've seen online, you need to first of all remove this lip here. This lip in here with this rubber seal right here. It's apparently a pain in the ass to get out. After you've done that, there's like a metal clip in there that you have to take out. Once you've taken the clip out, you can pull like a socket on top of here and bang it, and this should pop out, and then you just got to use a bigger one, bang the rest of the bearing out. So I'm going to try and get the seal out and see how I'll go with that. So I was watching a video of how a guy did it with a GTS4, not the, you know, like base model basically, and there's this ring in here, except his came out like with 2 presses of it, and bang, it just came out. All right, he just did by hand. I smacked, I think it was in like, where was it? So anyway, it's in here, right? So it's in there, as you can tell. All right, so it's in there. So what I did was I grabbed a screwdriver. You need to make sure you got like a strong screwdriver. Put it in there, in between the locking ring, because you can tell it's the locking ring. See there, in between that and the underneath of here, and then holding it here, like so. I just grabbed the hammer and beat the living crap out of it here, and then after a couple hard blows it went, and it just flew out into the sky and then back down. So yeah, this was a bitch to get out. Holy shit. So that's out. Put it over there. So now the next thing is we need to grab these 2 ends here, so 1 and 2 with the lock, push them together, and then this whole thing should basically come out, and then the actual like the hub should just fall out from what I ran online. This clip took me 4 hours to get out, 2 trips to the store, but it's out. At the end of the day, I just ended up getting the circlip in there, closing it just enough so that I could get this pick lodged in there, and then I pried on this pick coming across, jammed this in there to hold it in place as I like move this around. Finally got to the edge of it, put this underneath of it, and then just kept basically doing that until it popped out. Fuck you. Anyway, now apparently this hub should just pop out. I guess it just doesn't. This is the state of things so far. So I've gotten that out after smacking it with the hammer like a madman. I had to grind one off because it just got stuck in there, so that's that. And now I need to press out this main part of the bearing here, but truth be told, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, to be honest. So it's the next day. It's 42 degrees apparently today, or could be 46, depends on where you are. It's that Tuesday of the hottest Victorian day, but whatever. So we got that out. I was able to get the actual axle, the hub out. As you can see, we got the actual axle. We actually got the actual the spindle out, but I wasn't able to get the actual bearing out. That's just refusing to come out. So I've got a mate, thankfully, who has a press. So now I have to take this knuckle out and take it to him so that we can get that pressed out, so that we can, you know, actually get this job over and done with. So yeah, today I'm just going to aim to get that done and call it a day because it's way too hot for this. And I've also got one glove left, so yeah, the aim is to get this done. So without further ado, here, you hear how bad these are, and then they're the movement. That's a very bad wheel bearing. So we got both bearings pressed and finally went over to my mate's house, Braden's house, fucking legend of a guy. I love that guy to bits. He's got a press machine and all the press bushings, tools and all that. So we got 1 and 2 pressed in. He left for me to do because today's it's boiling. He left me to do these 2. We were able to get one of them off, but the other one just refuses to come off. We didn't have enough of a bite there to like lift this off. So I'll probably just go to a mechanic and get him to use like that clamp tool that I press it out. Brandon had a look at the bearings and went, bro, these things are absolutely shot. Like they are near to dangerous to drive on. And I went, yeah. Previous owner, which is my other mate, did 300 Ks with these bearings, ball tires, just a rain truck of a car. That all, you saw it. The brakes on the car are all loose. Nothing's pulled in tightly. Everything's just dirty, filthy. It is a car that I need to like take to wash everything and basically redo everything. So I'm glad that at least the engine and the drive shaft all got redone by me, because there's no way I'm trusting anything on that car. I'm also going to look after the rear as well. I might just do the rear bearings just to be on the safe side, because the rear bearings are actually just 4 bolts and the whole assembly comes out. Sure, it's a bit expensive, but I'd rather deal with 4 bolts and worst comes was grinding the bolts out than having to deal with what I had to deal with here. So right now I'm in the process of just greasing these up. These did come with grease, of course they did. I just don't trust it. So I got, you know, a name brand cheap stuff. See, this is wheel bearings right there. I took out this side of the bearing, so because you see you can take it out, and I just went in and just packed them basically how you're supposed to pack them. I will do it with my hands, but I don't have gloves, so I'm just using this so I don't get my hands filthy, because to get this grease out of your hands is a mess. But I'm going to pack both and just leave it for the day and call it a day. Or actually, no, lying. I'll press these in as well. I'll get these in. These are all the seals that came. What's funny is that the listing said that these were for ABS, non-ABS, and I realized that after I received them. But this protecting seal here is made for ABS because it's got that gap for the sensor. And if you look up on Parts Q, the diagram and the part number for this, and you're gonna look at images of the part number, it's got that hole in it. So this kit is for ABS. I don't know what they were doing. And the good thing is as well is I lost the C-clip. And because this is 2 kits put together, one of the kits thankfully comes with 2 cotter pins, which is legendary on their behalf. So 2 cotter pins and the C-clip as well. See, you can see the C-clip in there. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep greasing these up, and once they're in the car, I'll be back. C-clip is now in. There we go. And now I'm going to put in the seal on the other side. Just have to hammer it in now. Yeah! Okay, yeah, okay, I can't do this while filming. What you'll notice on here is that we've got like little divots here. Even there, and there as well. And that kind of caused the seal to not go in properly. So it was like half in, and then I would smack it down and it would like fall back out and half in. It was a mess. So what I did was I grabbed this and a small hammer, and wherever it wasn't going in, I slammed one side in all the way, and then this I would just tap it around until the metal outside would like start to go in. And once all of it was like bent in so that when you slam it will go in, I used this and that, slammed it in, and now it's in. It's not good. I'm not happy with it. But look, the only thing that needs to work here is the rubber, right? And once the axle's in, that's been squished down and doing its job. The rest, it doesn't really care. Especially once you get heat involved, it's just going to do its own thing. So it should all be good. I hope it's all good. Hopefully the other one was much easier. But yeah, by the way, this is the ruined axle knuckle, the one that had the bolt that I had to cut off. So this is the bad one. So if I have to ever replace this whole thing, it's probably a good thing. So anyway, so now rotate to the other side. Snap log ring I already showed you is in. So now we're just going to add this seal, this cover in the right angle, and one axle is like done until I have to put the spindle back in. Sorry, I'm going to do one, but I'm not going to do the other one because the other one has that on it, and I don't have any cutting tools. I'm going to go and get this done by mechanic so I don't ruin the spindle. Yeah. Alrighty, so this is done. It's finished. As you can see how it struggles to spin. That's what you want out of a bearing. So it's not silent because it is 2 pieces. At one point this was off center, so I had to bang it off a certain way. So I'm not too happy how this went on, but I think it's on fully. As I was banging this down, the other side of the bearing came out. So this cage here came out. So what it is, I left that out, put it here safely away. I kept banging this until the other side had fully seated, and then I grabbed the other side of it, used the 32mm I was using on the other side, an impact one as well, banged it in, and well, now it just spins on axis and it spins straight, and it's, a wheel bearing's done. Quick update, I ended up redoing this CV boot. As you can see, it's not its CV boot. The inside CV boot has like these triangle lobes every so often, like 3 times. And this one, and I bought 4 of those thinking that all of them are the same. These are not all the same. The outside ones are just circular. So I ended up just doing the normal thing, and I took one of those ones, cut the 3 lobes out, put it on here, and I mean, it's on there. This doesn't do any in-out movement, so as long as this is on there, it doesn't matter. And obviously secure zip ties, that's the best. I also redid that one as well, so I just had to tie it. And this is for the hose the hoses for the power steering pump. I just got to cut that off so that they're tucked out of the way, and I won't feel roadworthy for having those in the way. And now I can go ahead and finally put on these. So I'm excited. Because finally I get to put everything back together. Because fuck me, this was a nightmare. Also, it's going to rain soon, so I really want to smash this out. So, yeah, I'm going to do this quickly and come back. All back together, all happy, all nice. Everything's nice and tight. Even that's back in, so it's all good. The only thing that worries me is that this side doesn't have anything. See how it plays? Doesn't have those springs. And the other side doesn't have them either. So I don't know where they've gone. I'm going to order them. I'm going to run it for now because, I mean, the car's driven until now without those. So it's not the end of the world. Though it still is. I'm not happy about it. But that's definitely on back corner. I'm not too happy about that. But this side is done. I'm going to chuck the wheel on and I'm going to go to the other side and get that done. And finally, this wheel bearing episode is done. And, yeah, this side that I thought the wheel bearing was going to be an issue, there's no play. There's, like, no play at all. So this is good. I'm happy with this. Yeah, we'll do the other side now. Okay, so one wheel bearing done. And two wheel bearings are done. So, yeah, car's all officially back together. No bolts are missing, no nothing. I'm going to order those brake thingos because the other side was missing it as well. Like, basically, 3 out of the 8 corners are missing it. So, that's bad. So I'm definitely going to order like just the whole brand new kit for it. I'm going to go on parts queue and just find those. Now, one thing that I got to do is in here. Bang. New clip. And if I can find it, this is a little 3D printed with PETG. It's the, I'll show you in a second. It's that thing. So it's supposed to go in there. So let's grab this and open it. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Nice. Perfect. Nice. These are like the cheap Chinese knockoffs, but if you can get the ones that copy them, why not? As long as it goes in. Done. Perfect. Alright, let me put this into there because it's like a 2-man job. And just like that, it's in. Beautiful. Let's get that. Oh my god. Yes. Beautiful, finally. Look at that. Literally $3 for this whole pack shipped. Like 10 cents in printing materials. And now we have this that can finally close properly normally. Beautiful. I'm so happy. Next thing I want to tackle, I've got spark plugs in here. And I got a fuel filter I got to do. So I'm going to have a look at the fuel filter real quick and figure out how to do that. Okay, so fuel filter is here. So there's the nut on top. There's 2 nuts that hold it on either side. And then underneath, there's a nut right there. Cool. Okay. Alrighty, so today I did a couple things already. I went and bought one of these kits here. This is a flare kit, whatever it's called. Tell that. And I was able to get the fuel filter bolt out from the bottom. So for that piece of shit there. And that just popped out basically. Bang, out it went. So finally that's how I want to replace with that. I also decided to paint this. Very nice silver color. This is what I'm going to paint the whole car. So this will look absolutely fantastic once the car's painted in this color. And I also scanned using the Creality Ferret Pro this at the right level with this box underneath it. So I'm going to create a bracket that hooks onto these 3 here, like so, 1, 2, 3, and it basically just holds it around here. That print. I'm going to paint this as well. I just got to cover that up and paint it. That'll look fabulous, and I did that. I also bought a bunch of goodies. Bought this. So I'll have 2 new ones and I'll be able to clamp the battery down finally. I need a new washer motor because this doesn't work. Got 2 clamps for over there so that, those are new. Got some new battery terminals because both of those are cracked, so they're not actually going to pass roadworthy. So I've got 2 new ones. And I also got 2 new covers. So that's everything that's going to go in the car today. And other than that, this car is ready for roadworthy, which I'm pretty excited about. I also filled this up with water. The only thing is this car is, see, fill it up with water. The only thing is this car is super duper loud, and Grandpa hates it. You can tell it's just straight piped. It's been straight piped basically. So it's loud and stinky, and I can't turn it on and let it warm up. Otherwise, everyone's going to get pissed at me, which is fine. I get it. So when I get someone to drive this car for me, because currently I don't have a license, I'm going to get this sorted. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and install the new fuel filter, which is in here. Oh, it even comes with new washes and everything. Nice. It's Cooper. Look, it's good enough. When was this made? Oofed. This was made in 2017. Oh well, it'll be fine. Should be right. So I gotta pop that off, put it in, and just install it basically. Alright, so now it's in, the new fuel filter, as you can see. Very nice, very good, everyone's happy. I started the car up just real quick to get the fuel, and I've never heard it run ever, because my mate's driven this car. So I've never heard this car drive this well before. It's just idled perfectly, basically, right off the bat. So I think the fuel had something to do with it. Also, I wanted to replace the spark plugs. These are NGKs, and other than just being black, or black like, you know, darkish, they're fine. There's absolutely no crud on it. So I'm just not going to bother replacing them. I'm going to leave the Bosch ones for someone else. In the future, if you need to replace them, here you go, free spark plugs or yours. Because otherwise these look fine. The car runs fine. So I'm going to paint this the same color as the intake. It's all set up. I've already cut that off, so that will look very nice. I want to do that now. This is the paint I'm going to use. Silver zinc. I don't know how well it resists the heat. We'll see. I've seen people paint brake calipers with normal paint and not have issues ever. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the color of it. Looks good. Fits the car, so we'll do it. Boom. There we go. Painted. I'll let you know a little trick when it comes to spray cans. Spray cans have a lot of thinners in them. They put a lot of thinners basically into it. And because of the sun, and I live in Australia, if you paint out in the sun, those thinners have no time to sit and react or cause problems. Therefore, and also the heat dries the paint straight away. Because of that, you're able to go heaps of coats straight away without having to wait in between. Because everyone's like, oh, you need to do thin coats first, or you need to do like a spray. For example, Alex from Legit Street Cars, whenever he paints, he's always like painting like 3, 4, 5 different stages, and I'm like, bro, just fucking go at it once. There's a guy came on and explained this thing with the spray cans, and to me it makes perfect sense. Hence why some people need to wait for ages, because some of them are in the cold ambience, and other people like us are in the dry heat of Australia. So that's why I'm able to just basically put 3 coats on it and call it a day. I might add another coat now and let it sit here for like 5 minutes, and it'll be dry. That literally took like 5 minutes to dry, and I was very able to handle it. So this paint by itself is good. This is a very good paint, but and it looks like fantastic. It's such a good color. But so yeah, that's why. Also anti-corrosive and anything. This is like perfect for this. So yeah, I'm gonna add another coat, put it back on the car, and we'll meet back there. So next I want to install the battery down, how the battery hold down bolts and these things. So we have the original. I've already put one in, as you can see. So that essentially goes like that and then tightens down. Okay, so it's immobilized. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to make it a little bit tighter if I really want to. So these wing nuts are in. That's doing its job down there. So that's not going anywhere. I want to test that these don't hit the bonnet, because I have a feeling this might hit. So let's see. Seems fine to me. Cool, done. Beautiful. Alright, so then the next thing that I want to do, we'll do these. These are pretty easy. to replace these clamps here. So yeah, these are the exact, literally the exact same style, except they're broken and they're shit, and if I wiggle this enough, it might just come out. I think same with this as well. No, that's clamped down, okay, because you can see that's cracked there. So this will actually fail. So got these that hopefully are the right size for it. I think I can return these if I'm just careful with how I open it. I'm upset, I'm so upset about this. The nut's broken off. That's all like greenish, that's broken. The other one snapped, but that's the positive, so I don't really care because I've got the positive here is fine. Like this is, to me, it's fine. I'm just gonna put the cover on and call it a day. This snapped here, right? And it even says positive, so this is wrong anyway. It's wrong. But yeah, that's snapped in there, so I can't even fucking use that. So now I have to connect the welder, connect the nut to it, and hopefully get it out. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Perfect, so we got it out, we had to drill it out. The welder didn't work, unfortunately. All the nuts just kept blowing out of breaking. So we drilled it, we drilled a bit into it, but you know, it is what it is. So now we can go ahead and put this into, where's the negative? Where's the negative? Oh. And just like that, there we go. So I'm gonna put some like anti-rust stuff in there, like some anti-seize, just to make sure that, you know, nothing happens. And then that's gonna be our new negative. And then I'm gonna put the covers on as well, which are over here. These ones here. Apparently I need to make a hole on them. Boo. Okay, cool. So this is redone. It doesn't sit very well. I'm not too happy about that, but I created a little indentation so that this nut can pop out. That's the new nut, nice and tight, no breaking. Also has a negative sign on it, so it's all correct. In black as well. Come out of here. We've got one negative that goes into here. I've put some anti-seize in there. It's copper, so it should conduct. I don't have any reasons for it not to conduct. And then this, I'll shove it back down there in a second. So yeah, no, that's the positive done. I'm happy about that. I'm going to do the negative, which just seems like that basically. So hopefully, done. Look at this, much better. So this, I don't know, I'll figure something out, but you know, that looks a million times, hello, looks a million times better than just whatever the fuck this thing was sitting on top of there. So yeah, battery now is officially sorted. I'm just gonna put this one away real quick and call it a day. I'm very happy with this. So the last thing of the bought things is these clamp bits, which I'm gonna use to clamp that. Okay, so these both go into here. Like that, very nice. And this goes over here. Didn't say you could do that, but anyway. And then, okay, no, these went on the wrong way. There we go, boom. Very nice, hello. Very nice. That's all nice and tight. Looking very fresh. I might just rotate this down because of that line there, but very happy with that. Very nice. That's looking really good. Now, let's install this. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very good. I'll put the bolts in for this and carry on with the next job. Alrighty, so I took the front bumper off, which is one of the dumbest designs. It's also raining as well, so whatever. 1, 2, 3 nuts to hold the bumper on to either side. Then a bunch of bullshit underneath to hold like that crap in. Then a bunch of bolts and washers and all that crap up here just to get this goddamn stupid bumper off. I've never been so pissed at a design in my life than this. You could have just had like very simply some ball, what's it called, the ball pins that go in, bang bang, bolts underneath that you can easily get to, a couple of bolts on the top here, and you were done. But no, Toyota decided not to do that. I'm not sure where I left off last time, but I got a new motor for it, $33 I think it was Australian. A very tight fit on the plug, but this does work. I just tested it right now, and front and back it makes a noise, so that's like good. What I'll do now is I'll plug everything back in, now install it and whatnot, because I've got the parts over here, right here. So here, I had the pressure washer. I should have pressure washed this. I might actually pressure wash this real quick, and that tube as well. But anyway, I have to clean these because they are, well, as you can see, very, very filthy. Once that's done, reinstall the motor with its new grommet, reinstall in the car, and I'll have working window washers, which is good. The plan is, after that, I'm going to see what's inside, take it all out, and figure out if there's anything else I need to add, remove this, that. Tires, I found some guy that will do $50 a tire, mounted and balanced, but you have to take the tires to him. He doesn't want to deal with taking the bolts off and everything, so that's good. And then I'm also going to try and paint this bumper today and see how that goes, though, you know, I doubt it. But in the meantime, I also designed this bracket for the pod filter. Fix those clamps up because, you know, it looked ugly. I do need to do adjustments. These holes here need to be oval, they need to be a bit bigger. And then this is what needs to come out, and just one bolt will work. So I'll make this come out of the triangle with just one bolt to basically go through. Because otherwise, yeah, look, I mean, that's in there tight. There's room in between here. So whatever clamp setting, the space I gave it, it's fine. It also clears this hole here. That's for the air intake temperature sensor. This is the grommet for the air intake sensor, which is right here. And I think it should... Alright, so I'm going to... I'm going to go ahead and install the reservoir there. I might give that a quick clean. I've got the bucket and everything out anyway, so I'll give that a quick clean, and then we'll be back. Alright, so a bit of scrub dubbing later, and, you know, it's generally clean. There were some points I couldn't get to because I didn't have the brush for all the brushes are filthy of stuff. So, but everything came up pretty good considering it's just a rag. So all this will be reinstalled in the car now, and we'll go from there. Just like that, the new motor is installed. A little bit of silicone paste just to, you know, make the rubbers go in, but I think we should be good. I might need to RTV that because I had a similar fit on my sister's car and that leaked. So we'll see, but it should be fine. Yeah, and essentially it mounts up like that. So now I just got to find the bolts and plug it in, basically. Ah, look, it's already hanging there. So for reference, if anyone's ever wondering what bolts go where. So there's a bolt here at the front. There's a bolt up there, so you need to remove the front bumper. And then up underneath, so you have to remove this, which means removing the front part as well. And there is a nut right behind that one, right there, as you can see, right there. So you got to remove that, and that is in such an awkward position if you don't pull this back. So that's what the 3 bolts are for this. And now, I mean, look, I was going to leave 2 screws, but 3 just makes it like really tight. So there's no reason not to put all 3 in. I might as well. It's a job that I do once, and that's that. Then I think this goes here or here. Fuck. How's this go on? Cool, back from a short trip. I got some blockers. Just want to get some new silicone ones just so that's all blocked. I might have to sort something out with this. I might buy the genuine hose so this is just, you know, fixed. Put another one back there as well. I bought some vacuum line, some silicone vacuum line. This works perfectly. This works perfectly fine for, you know, for the sprayer system. A lot of people actually replace the entire sprayer system with this stuff because, I mean, it's just, you know, newer stuff. And I also bought these straight adapters, vacuum line connectors, same shit. Just because if you remember, I chopped them off. These are too short, so I'll just heat these up with some, you know, with some fire. Put these over it, and then just cut some length out of this. And use that to connect these to that, and we should be good. So I'll do that. And I also want to paint this as well today, if the sun allows me to, which it should. But I went and bought a bunch of stuff as well for this. Another thing I want to complete as well is painting these, because these are disgusting, and the back was just done poorly. Like, what the fuck is that? So yeah, that's gonna get done as well today. So at least we have some fresh new black good looking window wipers. And then I've ordered some new wipers online because they're like $5 each. There's no way I'm spending 22 per. I'm gonna get this done and try and record pieces here and there for you. Okay, so this one is jammed. I ran a needle in there, nothing came out. I jammed something in there, nothing came out. So water does get to it because, you know, whereas I've cut it and water does come out of there. So that's all good. Both motors work, which I'm happy about. The problem is this doesn't work. So unless I have a blown fuse, see how it should be on. I'm not sure. So I'll check fuses and I'll see. I doubt it. I think all the fuses are good. I remember checking them all. So I don't think it's that. There's probably something going on at the plug end, which I'll have to see. So hopefully I've got my multimeter there anyway. So I'll check voltage here. But that will require me opening up in here and having a good look, which is good because I want to see how the wing is attached anyway, because I want to put the GT4 risers on here anyway. Which you can print, so plus it's cracked anyway. So I wonder if this just pulls down. Hold on, I've got a splitter. Right, so before we do anything, we need to remove this, which thankfully I was going to remove anyway because I want to paint this black so that it's not this ugly grey color. So bolt out, and then we have to like. Will you believe it that this nut needs to come off of here, but it seized, so the whole thing is moving? Don't you just love that? Oh my god, I love cars. They're so good to work on. Oh my god, I can't even record this where it's like the sun's boiling, my phone will overheat. I want to kill myself. But anyway, we got that off. I molested it until it came off, so I'm going to take that end off and I'm going to spray it. I'm going to sand it, spray it black so it'll look nice. Same with this, I'm going to spray it black so it'll look mint. Same with the front ones as well, on the professional spray booth on top of those two. And then today I'll tackle the front bumper as well. I've got a couple more hours left of sunlight, so I'll try and get this off and see if I can get the motor off, and we'll go from there basically. Okay, so we did get it out, but as you can see, the sleeve that goes around it basically removed it. I don't know what happened exactly, but the nut welded itself on, so I had to like literally cut it, and it's annoying because now I've got a small divot here in the paint, in the bodywork, and it's just annoying. I was super scared of breaking the glass, so I'm glad that I didn't break it. Problem fixed. It works as long as the hatch is down. Hold on, when would you use that or that if the hatch isn't down? Moving on to V2 of the bracket, I spent a bit of time and I redesigned it. So the original bracket was like this with 2 predetermined holes and 3 tiny holes that was supposed to fit like an M4, but it just didn't work out. It just, I mean, you saw what it did. So I redesigned it, made it about 3 times as large, obviously filleted it as well. And now that can fit, I think this is an M6 bolt. It's got a nut underneath it, and as you can see, it closes up, and I mean, it still moves a little bit, but it's fine, no one really cares. And then I also enlarged the holes here to be, you know, like that, so that I could put the bolts at whatever height I want, so that this can go up and down. And now V2 is done. I'm very happy with this design. I'm going to redesign here just so that these bolts have a bit more to bite on, so I can make it just slightly thinner, as you can see there, maybe slightly thinner for the bolts, just so these bolts just slot in, and you know, we can call it a day, we can move it up and down. So I'll do that, make it thicker, and then I'm going to print this in carbon fiber ASA, so it should be fine for the engine bay. I also need to go and buy some new bolts for this as well. That's the later thing. I bought this from Super Cheap. This is supposed to be the vent thinger, which I don't know, doesn't seem very right to me. Pull that off. How is this supposed to fit on there? Let's just look. It even says it like Camry 2.2 liter 5 SFE, PCV valve to rocker cover. There's no other PCV valve in here. So whatever. Cool. So the next plans for today is finish painting these. As you can see, that's the after, that's the before and after. Very nice. At this current point, the car doesn't have much needed, to be honest, to do roadworthy. I'm very happy with where it's at. Anyway, so I'm gonna mess around with that, try and get it on and see how it fits, and we'll report back. Okay, I think that's plenty for today's video. In the next video, I will somewhat go over the paint job that I ended up doing. It was a very quick paint job. I still need to do 2K over it properly because some areas are nice and, well, this isn't really smooth, but it's smoothish. And other areas are still really gritty, as you can hear. So some areas definitely need more 2K. The roof needs 2K, this needs 2K, that needs a bit more 2K, and a couple more panels in the back. There's also a run on the other side as well. The mirrors need to be finished. The rear bumper still needs to be finished, as that's all cracked and ruined still. As you can tell, the color's different. There's a lot of damage, and there's a big hole in the back. I've bought the little, like the tool that welds the clips in, plus a bunch of other stuff for the mesh. We still need to cover all of this up as well, and we need a new windshield, new tires, and I still need to find the brackets for the brakes, because that's very dangerous to be driving around, and I will fail a roadworthy on it. So yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff left to do, but in the next episode, we'll be clearing all of the cosmetic stuff up, fixing that and getting some new tires on it, and going in for a roadworthy and seeing what the car actually needs. I'm very excited to see what this car brings us, because it definitely does deserve to be back on the road. There is one thing, though, that I'm not really happy about. I'm just going to sell it and get rid of it. The rust is starting to form back here, so I'll sand all this back as much as I can. I'll put like an etch primer made for rust, because Rust-Oleum sells like a rust primer. So I'm going to do all that across here, all on the inside. And then once that's done, I'll glue the windshield on. Once the windshield has been glued on, the plan will be to scan all of this and create like a molding of TPU that just kind of sits on there. Obviously put in a bunch of polyurethane just to make sure that no water can get in there and start rusting. It will. I'm going to block off the channels here as well. I'm going to make sure that no water gets into here, because I just don't want water running back down there. That's what caused the rust originally. And then once all that's done, we'll just see what else the roadworthy list needs. I'm not sure what the roadworthy could tell us it needs, because I don't think there's much that it needs. There might be a couple bushings, there might be a leak from the transmission, which I'll just fix with some RTV just to get it on the road. But even then, it hasn't leaked onto the floor. It's leaked, but it's been 3 months. So if we just wash it, send it in for a roadworthy, should be fine. I don't think anyone's going to say anything in regards to that. And of course, we're also going to need new 4 tires, and we'll see whether or not the brakes pass. If the brakes pass, good. If not, I'm just going to go to the wrecking yard and find those clips for the calipers, so that we can get this car on the road. But other than that, I'm so happy with how this car looks. I think I've done a really good job. There are a couple of things, though, like on the hood, you can see the pinstripes, kinda. I'm not sure if on camera it comes up, but in there you can kind of see them. You can see them on this angle here, actually. There we go. Yeah, you can see the pinstripes right there. Look at that. All that's all clear. That needs to be fixed. So then once I go over like a heavy, thick coat of clear, that should clear up. And other than that, man, an oil change, a gearbox oil change, some power steering, because there's no power steering. And then whilst I'm doing that, I'm also going to install a cat converter, a resonator, and a muffler somewhere, just because the car is just so loud. It is unbearably loud, and it will not pass road with that stuff on there. So without further ado, thank you for having watched. I appreciate you coming all the way here. This will be hopefully a 3-part series, and we'll hopefully get this car back onto the road, which is where it belongs. Bye.